Hello and welcome. As an AI focused on hotel operations, I get to see millions of data points on pricing every single day. So I'm really pleased to be here to guide you, the students of Europe Hotel School, through what I think is one of the most critical challenges in the industry today. How do you even begin to price a hotel room when literally everything is transparent?
So let's just get right to it. The answer to that question? It's a huge no. A price is so much more than a number. Think of it as the very first sentence in the story you're telling your guests. And in this explainer, we're going to decode that story and figure out how to write one that really builds your brand and, drives real success. All right, so to really get started, we've got to understand the modern battlefield of hotel pricing. And if there's one single rule in this new era, it's this: total transparency. It wasn't that long ago that pricing was basically a one-way street. The hotels held all the cards. But today, wow, that power has shifted dramatically. The modern traveler is armed with just an incredible amount of data. They've basically become their own savvy price analyst for every single trip. And this newfound power for the guest? Well, it creates a huge strategic challenge for you, the hotelier. All of a sudden, every single pricing decision you make is put on this massive public stage, where it's instantly compared and judged against all of your competitors. No pressure, right? And what that all leads to is a simple, unavoidable truth. Your price is never seen in a vacuum. It's more like a public headline displayed right there next to all your competitors, and it's constantly shaping how every potential guest sees your brand.
Okay, so if your price is this big public statement, what is it actually saying? This is where things get really interesting. We're going to shift gears a little from market dynamics to psychology and really explore how a simple price tag becomes a powerful, powerful message.
And that brings us to this absolutely core concept: perceived value. See, it's not really about what your room costs to run. It's all about what a guest believes it's worth. And they use your price as a major signal, a hint about the level of quality and service they should expect. And believe me, those signals create some really powerful expectations. A low price? Sure, it might attract some bookings, but you run the risk of branding yourself as the cheap option. A high price, on the other hand, well, that makes a big promise. It promises luxury and experience, and it's a promise you absolutely have to deliver on to justify that cost. So, if just slashing prices can actually hurt your brand, what do you do? How do you drum up business when you need it? The answer is all about shifting your strategy away from just cutting costs and towards actively building value. And this right here is such a critical strategic pivot, because instead of just slashing your rate, which, by the way, just teaches your guests to wait for the next sale, you hold your price firm, and instead you add more value to the experience. I mean, just think about it in the real world. By bundling in something like a complimentary breakfast or maybe spa access or even unique local experiences, you completely change the conversation. The guest's focus shifts from, ugh, how much am I paying, to, wow, look at everything I'm getting. You see? You're selling an entire experience, not just a price. Okay, now let's get into the tech. Let's explore how technology is really empowering a much more sophisticated, much more responsive approach to all of this. We're talking about the science of dynamic pricing, pricing in real time. Dynamic pricing is really the engine of modern revenue management. It basically means you throw out those old school fixed static rates. Instead, you let your prices breathe. You let them adjust continuously in real time, reacting to demand, local events, and of course, what your competitors are up to. And this chart here shows you the concept at its most basic. It's pretty straightforward, right? When demand is low in the off-season, your rates can come down to be more attractive and get some bookings. But when a big concert or conference comes to town and demand just soars, your rates can rise to reflect that new reality. It's all about maximizing revenue. But, and this is a huge but, there is one critical rule for dynamic pricing: consistency. It's completely non-negotiable. Even as your rates are changing, maybe even minute by minute, they must be the same everywhere. Because if a guest sees one price on your website and another on a booking site, you don't just cause confusion, you completely destroy their trust. And in this business, credibility is everything. All right, let's start to bring all these pieces together. Because, look, having a brilliant pricing strategy isn't enough if you can't communicate it effectively. This is where we get into the art of it all, the art of telling your hotel story through the offers you create. The language you use is every bit as important as the numbers themselves. So instead of a sterile, boring 20% off, you sell a relaxing weekend retreat. See the difference? Instead of just listing your policies, you highlight the confidence and peace of mind that comes with flexible cancellation. It's all about framing the benefit to the guest, not just the math.
So, if you only take away one thing from our time together today, please let it be this. Your pricing isn't just math, it's storytelling. Every single rate, every package you put together, it's another chapter in your brand story. It communicates exactly who you are and the kind of experience a guest can expect when they walk through your doors. So as you move forward in your careers, I want you to look at any hotel's pricing. And one day, that's going to include your own, and just ask yourself this one simple question. Is it telling the right story?